Met a lot of cool people though, like people that I've never met before, and there was like Eddie Kingston. I got to meet, and he's such a character, man. I love Eddie, and I've never been around him before, but just being around him for a couple of days and trying to see, he's such a character, like in real life. Got to talk to Taz a little bit. Taz, he's another cool dude. He and Eddie were going back and forth, and I asked Taz maybe he'll teach me a couple of suplexes that I could use. Billy Gunn, so Billy Gunn, man, Billy Gunn. As soon as I saw him, big smile, and he's he's such a cool dude to be around, and he's so positive, and I know that anytime I would need some advice or anything, I know I can always go to Billy. And Billy trained me back in the day in Orlando, and I learned a lot from him. And uh, knowing that he's there, and not just for me, just for everybody else, that they can go and approach and ask for anything. He's always there. Hopefully, people will do that. PDX Ronaldo subscribed for 4 months. Uh, Thank you, PDX. Ronaldo, my favorite player, Brazilian Ronaldo. Kip, Penelope, great people. Absolutely loved working with them. They're full of ideas, great energy. Uh, they want to do good, man. And as I said, we all want to do good. It's not just hey, let's just get today by. It's no, like, how can we make this good? And I love people that who are trying to challenge themselves, and uh, it's gonna be great. I'm not there just for a couple of days. I'll be there for from now on, and I'm looking forward to developing a relationship and just escalating, taking a character or whatever you want to call it and take it for a ride. You know, it's not just giving 2 weeks programs and stuff like that. Like actually, I have time to develop something and morph it into whatever you want instead of, you know, same old, same old. I talked to Blade. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I talked to Blade the first day. I'm like, bro, I'm sorry about your look. I was gonna ask for forgiveness instead of permission. So I am sorry. But he's very. I'm a big fan of his. Big fan of him and the Butcher. Huge fan. I'm a huge fan of a lot of these people there. And I told him some of the matches that I saw, especially, I couldn't wait to go back and congratulate these guys on their hard work and how good they are, man. The Lucha Bros, though. I mean, that's not their name. Uh, Lucha Bros, whatever the name is, I haven't learned. But these guys, man, these guys made some maneuvers that I can't even make in a video game. And I remember watching him in Lucha Underground, and man, these guys watching them live and doing all these tricks and maneuvers, and it's like, oh my gosh, what is happening? I can't believe how good they are. I always like watching them from afar, from different shows, watching them, always a big fan. But now watching it live and get to talk to him, and they're such a nice dudes, man. It's such a good vibe. It's such a good vibe. There's no running backstage. Not everybody's crying. Not everybody's sweating. Not everybody's having heart attacks. It's just people going to work and be like, hey, let's freaking create some good show tonight. How about it? Pac already tore my bicep, and I'm working with him anymore. I'm done with him. I'm not working with Pac anymore. Any experience with? Yeah, I met the Bucks, met Kenny. I'm a big fan of all of them. Would love to work Kenny, man. Of course, the Bucks as well, but Kenny is something that um, I mean, he's been on top of his game, right? So, what better way to challenge myself against somebody like Kenny or whoever it is? I mean, I love to work Kenny because he's a big dude. He's got the size, he's got the look, he's got all the abilities, and I would love to step in the ring and just show him what a true beast from Bulgaria via America uh, can do. Oh, Hangman. I watched Hangman match. Him, man, he's so good. Like he's the one person that I kind of didn't know much about, but I sat back and watched him. I think with Kazarian. I think it was with him. I'm telling you, man, these guys had a 5 star match. 5 star match, man. They're so good. And of course, we're not surprised about Frankie, right? Because Frankie's been around forever. I've never met him before. I've watched him through the years, but I never knew anything about Hangman. Watching him, bro, so good. He is so freaking good, man. I hope he's around for a long time with us, and I get to work with him because I really, really think we can do some good stuff. Um, well, yeah, Dustin's always been great. Dustin, you can't go wrong with Dustin. He's 51. He may be 61. He still be as good because it's in his blood. It's in his blood. You can't take that away. Yeah, Hangman is super cool. Who else did I meet? I mean, I met everybody, and everybody was very receptive. Obviously, FTR. I'm a huge fan of theirs. It was great to see them. They're clearly the best tag team wrestlers in the world. It was a pleasure just watching them work and watching them do their thing without any kind of restrictions. Um, it was just a beautiful wrestling. I didn't meet Derby. He wasn't there. I didn't meet him. He wasn't there. I mean, pretty much everybody, but he wasn't there. I don't know. So Matt. So Matt, I love Matt. We all know that I love Matt. Who doesn't love Matt Hardy? But I saw him. He was recovering. I'm glad to see he's doing good, man. And after what he'd been through and the bump that he took, he was just Matt Hardy. He was just Matt Hardy, man. How do you do that? How do you just Matt Hardy after banging your head on the concrete like that? I don't know. Only him. Saw some really cool on the AW Dark. Like I don't know if you guys are familiar. AW Dark is a show on YouTube, and if you're not familiar, I think you should definitely go and check it out because, as you know, AEW has only 2 hours a week, uh, and the rest of the wrestling has on AW Dark, and they have some fantastic matches there. I tell you, if you're not watching it, go ahead on YouTube and you can check it out. And you see, there's a lot of like new people that you've never seen before. Some people from the indies, some people from all over the world. They're just coming in and trying to get a job because most of these guys are probably not even signed. But there he is, Tony Khan, giving opportunity for people who are not signed with a company to come and shine and maybe bring it back to their territory or whatnot. Um, so I love that. I love that Tony's giving all this opportunity to these kids and uh, Ben. What's his kid name? Ben something. He trained with Rollins. Ben from Wales, I think, or from England, maybe. I don't know. I think it was England somewhere. Ben Carter. Ben Carter. He's the local favorite there. Everybody loves Ben Carter. Ben Carter won all of our hearts. He's a good kid. He's young and he was trained by Rollins, so you know that he's good. And he did really well, man. I mean, not he did really well. He clearly knows what he's doing. So kudos to him. Oh, Excalibur. Yeah, I got to meet Excalibur as well. Very knowledgeable. Clearly, everybody there is very knowledgeable. There's nobody there that doesn't belong. Um, it was kind of, yeah. No, it was great. It was great. I was gonna say it was kind of weird to see him, with the mask and in person and everything. It's when you've seen somebody on TV for so long and now finally you get to meet him. It's that weird thing, and that's why I have with everybody because I haven't met anybody. uh, Orange Cassidy. Yeah, I did Major Orange Cassidy. A laid back dude, man. He does his thing. He's just chilling with his hands in his pocket, being orange. No big deal. Best friends. Oh man, Trent. It was always good to see Trent because Trent is such a character. I know Trent since FCW days, way back when I first started. I think he was coming back to get some matches and all that. So I met Trent back then and get to hang out. And I always loved Trent. Always loved Trent because he's such a cool dude, right? And Chuck, little JBL. That's Chuck Taylor. It's little JBL. That's what I call him. Hopefully he won't take that as an insult. But when that man steps in that ring, his whole demeanor changes, and he's gonna whoop you so bad that you won't even know it. And backstage, he's just like this nice boy, man. But once he gets to the ring, he just switches, and you can just tell in his eye. Well, you can because you can't tell him back. You can't see him backstage. But once he gets in that ring, doesn't matter if he's a good guy or a bad guy. He's got that like bad like intentions, and you can just tell in his eyes. I'm a huge fan of Chuck Taylor, man. He looks exactly like young JBL. I feel like if he puts like 50 pounds, he'll be great. But maybe in time. Miro, do you have any other pair of Adidas? I have all the pairs of Adidas. I have about no, 5 pairs of Yeezys. It's my favorite shoe. It's the most comfortable shoe. Call me Aurelius. All right, I'll call you Aurelius. Subscribed. Big Prime guy. Sam B subscribed. 4 months. I can't wait to see Miro versus MJF. Yeah, I am still a big fan of MJF. Watching his promos, he is, he's really doing. I was gonna say he's really playing that character well, but meeting him backstage, he's not a character. That's who he is. And that's the key, man. That's the key of being so good because he is that person. He's that cocky little, you know, loud mouth talking, I'm all cool type of deal guy. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way at all. He's in a good way. But you can just tell in his backstage in his like the way he carries himself. He's the guy on TV. And you can tell them that the Miz had very similar qualities. The Miz is still one of my favorite all around performers. Um, because backstage, he was that guy. He was always the Miz because the Miz can be always the Miz. MJF can be MJF. Well, in the past 2 days that I've seen, is what I noticed. But good for MJF. This is nothing but compliments. I hope he takes that as a compliment, not in a bad way at all. They're sending me some ugly shoes that I'm trying to figure it out. KO, you have such a fun aura. We'll see you ride a freaking tank into Dynamite, destroy opponents in a nice way. No, there'll be no destroying opponents in a nice way at all. Not at all. I may be having fun playing video games and all that, but you'll know that. You've seen me. You've seen once that bell rings, not the ring bells, not the ring bells. That can still work in some other countries. If you let me slide, you'll let it work. When the bell rings, you know how to mess around. It's all go. It's all go. It's intensity, beat up some people, and go home.